Hey guys, this week on Kombativ, we're testing out some of the most popular weapons from the Kombativ.com website. But before we begin, if you just like this video and subscribe to our channel, that would be awesome. So, as usual, I asked Amanda to go back into the warehouse and grab some of the most popular items for me to review from the Kombativ.com website. She's boxed them up for me so I don't know what they are. That way I can give a fair and honest review of each product. So, without further ado, Amanda, what is the very first item?
There you go. Awesome,
awesome. I like these little cases. This is kind of cool. So how are you guys doing today?
So good. What a wonderful Monday. I had a great weekend. No complaints.
Are you guys excited to see some new weapons?
I am excited to see new weapons,
okay.
Always.
Well, hopefully Amanda picks some good ones out for us this week.
Are you doubting me?
No, she always picks out great weapons. All right. I like these little cases. Let's see what this is. Ooh, the pocket chain dart is our very first weapon. That's awesome. We have never shown this off before, and we've had it for a while. So this is one of those weapons that's handmade in America by Kombativ. We actually make these ones ourselves. So first off, we can see that this has an extremely heavy-duty polyester case, which is nice because it's got a little belt strap so we can carry it by the side of our body if we want to. But you guys really don't care about that. You want to see the weapon itself. So let's go ahead and pull this out and check that out. That is beautiful. So as you can tell, this has been hand machined out of steel. This has been machined really well to have a really nice grip to it, and that allows you to use it as a fist-loaded weapon. So that gives a lot of strength to your punches, but you could also use it as like a Kubotan style weapon if you wanted to, for like pressure points and things, or you can even use it for striking, like a hammer fist. So boom, look at these holes I can put. You see, pretty good gouge in that thing. It's pretty awesome. So that thing's going to hold up just beautifully for you. But if you're walking along and you want to keep a little more distance between you and your attacker, all you have to do is just unscrew that tip just a little bit, and out comes a 26-inch chain. So think about the damage you can do with this. I do not have room back here, but think about the damage you could do with this thing. You could strike with it. You could use it for trapping arms. You could use it for choking. I mean, there's no limit to the things you could do with this thing. So this is a really, really awesome weapon. So the overall length of this, when you have it open, is approximately 34 inches. So think about the reach you have with that. And I know what you're thinking. Kyle, a chain weapon like that is probably very, very difficult to learn. I agree. It's going to take a little bit of practice, that's for sure, but we made the chain short enough that it's actually fairly easy to use. So I don't think it's going to take that long to learn how to use a weapon like this. Now, when it's closed, it's approximately 7¼ inches, and it weighs approximately 1 pound 4 ounces. So it's actually a very nice weight for a weapon. One thing you want to check, though, is your local laws, because chain weapons actually have very strict laws when it comes to them. So just check your local laws. Very important to do. But is there anything else we want to say about this?
I don't think so.
Not really. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the case then. And let's check out our next weapon. You know what else I like about these cases is they're clean. Like, we don't have boxes and stuff over here. So,
that's why I like them a lot.
All right, thank you so much. All right, let's see what our next weapon is. Okay, open up the case. Okay, so the next weapon is the Mini Stinger Stun Gun.
Yeah!
She loves to bring me stun guns because she knows that I have to get stunned with it on video. So the good thing is this is a tiny stun gun, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so the Mini Stinger Stun Gun. The first thing I noticed is that it comes with a really nice sturdy vinyl case. And it's got this pocket clip on it, which is nice. And it's got this little key ring on it. So you could add it to your keychain if you wanted to. But let's check out the stun gun. So look at that. That's pretty cool. So the case on this thing is made from a very durable ABS plastic. So that's going to actually hold up pretty nicely for you. And then it's got that kind of carbon fiber design to it, which is good. The other thing I'm noticing is that it's got a very non-slip grip, so that's not going to come out of your hand very easily at all. And the other thing that I noticed too is that we have a wrist strap on here. So that wrist strap is going to give it a little bit extra control, but then also this is a type of wrist strap that actually has the disable pin on it. So if you're carrying this and then someone tries to wrestle you and grab this from you, it's going to pull out the disable pin, and then they can't even use your stun gun against you. Okay, and then we can also tell that this does have a little micro USB cable on here to charge this up. So that's nice. It's nice and rechargeable. And on this guy, it looks like we've got a switch here. And I like the fact that this is such a simple design. So all we do is we just move it up once, and we've got a nice LED light, which is great because it could blind your attacker for one. But then two, you know, when you're out at night just walking, it's always good to have a little LED light on you. So that's a nice little feature to have. But then if we push it up twice, then we can tell that the stun gun is actually engaged because that red light is on. So the manufacturer says that this is approximately 105 million volts. So I know what you're thinking. Hey, Kyle, there is no way that this stun gun is going to shoot out 105 million volts. And I agree. I completely agree. The thing is with stun guns is that they're very, very hard to actually gauge how much voltage is actually coming out from them. So the manufacturers know that, so they just put on kind of a random number on their stun guns that is comparable or a little bit stronger than other stun guns that are around the same size. So this says 105 million volts, but we don't know the actual accurate amount of voltage that's going to come out from this. And then also you got to take into account things like amps and resistance to get the true power of the stun gun. So what we like to do is we first like to listen to the crackle of the stun gun just to see how loud it is, because that's usually a good indicator of how strong a stun gun is. So, all right, here we go. Okay, kind of loud, not overly loud, pretty comparable to other stun guns this size. So I'm honestly not that concerned about it. And then the other thing we like to do is we have to test them out because we want to know, is this stun gun actually going to be effective if you got attacked? And so the thing is, when you're using a stun gun, you always want to use it either in the neck, the groin, or you want to use it in an area where there's a lot of muscle on the body. So a good place to do it is in the chest, the shoulders. I'm going to have Amanda do it on my arm. So what I'm going to do this time, because I always hate this so much, is I'm going to hand this over to Amanda. Here you go, Amanda.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'm going to try to not overreact. Okay, I'm going to try to stay calm. I'm going to hold my arms down. I'm going to try to stay calm and let myself see if I don't overreact and scream and cry. Okay, so you can go whenever you want. Oh, jeez! Okay, so I reacted a little bit, slightly. It hurts. I mean, it hurts. Whew. Okay, that one was pretty strong. I have had much stronger stun guns stun me in the past. I mean, you can see some of the videos on Karate Mart. You'll see there's some big ones that have stunned me on that. That one was still pretty strong. The thing with stun guns is that it's very important that you have other self-defense skills in addition to a stun gun, because if the stun gun does not take your attacker down, it might just make them mad. So you want to know how to defend yourself other ways than that. One thing that we hear a lot from our customers also is that stun guns can be very effective against wild animals or stray dogs. And I'm not suggesting that you strike a dog with a stun gun. I'm just saying that the crackle from a stun gun can actually be a very good deterrent to stray dogs and to other animals that are trying to attack you. So they can be effective in that respect as well. Now, the dimensions on this are approximately 3¼ inches by 1½ inches, and it weighs approximately 2.4 ounces. And I don't think there's anything else I need to say about this, is there?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put this guy away then, and let's move on to our next weapon. All right. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Whew, okay. All right. And our next weapon is the Dark Combat Tanto knife. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. So look at this knife. That definitely looks like a very modern, if not futuristic looking knife, right? Mm-hmm. Like I could see a cyborg wearing that or something. Kind of crazy. But first off, I notice it's got a very nice Kydex sheath on it, very durable, form fitted to the blades. That blade's not going to come out on you easily at all. We can tell it's got a nice belt clip on there. And this is a type that has the lock here. You just kind of unlock, unclip it. You can move that around or modify it to the size of your belt. You can also take these guys off and move it to the other side of the knife if you're a left-hander instead of a right-hander. So very nice little belt clip for you. But you guys, again, don't care about that. You want to see the blade itself. So let's go ahead and pull out the blade on this thing. Wow. Is that not the most intimidating looking blade? Beautiful, right? So we can tell that it has some really nice black G10 scales on there. They're very texturized. The steel itself looks to be a D2 steel. Now, D2 steel is a tool steel that's known for being very wear resistant and durable. But according to this paper, the manufacturer has also hardened the steel to give it better edge retention. So this is going to hold up really nicely for you. That blade's not going to need sharpening very often. Plus we can see that it's got a nice black finish to it, which gives it a more stealthy look and gives it more corrosion resistance. So that's excellent as well. The blade is extremely sharp. In my opinion, they're very easy to sharpen. I like Tanto knives in that respect. The other thing I really like about Tanto knives is that they've got this very sharp point up here, which makes them incredible for stabbing and for slicing. So they're a really good knife for that. We've got these scales here, which are interesting. We can see that the blade is full tang, going all the way through the scales, all the way back to the pommel back here. But if we throw our hand in forward grip, I've got this jimping up here, which gives me really good control of the blade. Also, there's the grips on the scales, which give me good control. The only thing I'm not liking is my hand's kind of digging in here a little bit, which is nice because it gives it a nice secure grip there, which was one of my concerns when I first saw this, because there's no finger guard on this thing, which is always a concern for me. But I do have good control of this blade. My hand's not sliding up at all. Feels pretty comfortable. I do wish it had more ergonomics to it. Now we can also tell that it's got this staggered sawback on the back, and this is one of those sharpened sawbacks that's almost like a serrated section. So you could use that for cutting through like stronger materials. We can also tell that it's got this lanyard hole on the back, so we could add a wrist strap to it. And I'm noticing this design too. It's got this angle here, which tells me that this is probably going to work really nicely in reverse grip. And yes, it does. My thumb goes on there very nicely. I've got excellent control of this blade in reverse grip. So I don't know, it's comfortable in reverse grip. In forward grip, I can tell it's got really good control. The only thing I don't like about this knife is ergonomics. I wish there was a little bit better ergonomics here, but overall, I'm really digging this knife. Now the blade length is approximately 5.5 inches. The overall length is approximately 12 inches, and the knife weighs approximately 11.6 ounces. So that is a really nice weight for this knife. It's fairly heavy, fairly bulky, but I feel like it's a meaty knife, so I like that. But anything else I need to say about this?
Nope.
Okay.
No, that's a cool knife. That's a super cool
It's
knife.
a cool looking knife. I like it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put that away, and let's move on to our next item. All right, Amanda, what do you got next for me? Ooh, a big one. Okay, nice. All right, it looks like I need a knife to open this guy up, so let's just grab this little karambit here. There we go. Okay. You know, I do love having all these knives here at my disposal. Pretty cool. All right, so our next weapon is the Warhammer walking stick. Awesome, awesome. All right, so the first thing I notice about this is that it's made from one solid piece of injection molded nylon fiber. And if you've seen my videos before, you know that I really love fiberglass reinforced nylon because it holds up so nicely. In fact, let's just give it a little whack right here. Okay, so you're not going to be able to damage this easily at all. In fact, we've done so many tests on this stuff over the years just to see if we can break it. It is very, very difficult to break. So this is going to hold up for you very, very nicely. Now we can tell that it's got a grip up here, which gives you good control up here. We also have a grip right here in case we wanted to swing it like this. And then we can also see that it's got a grip on the T-handle up here, which is important if we're walking with it. It's got a rubber toe on the end, which makes it a non-slip toe, which is nice. We're not going to slip with it anywhere. And then you can also tell that it's got these pointed ends on the T-handle up here, which give you something to strike with, which is pretty cool. Now the total length is approximately 36.75 inches, which is nice because that gives you over 3 feet between you and your attacker. So that's pretty nice. But the thing is, like, if I was going to use this thing, you'd probably be walking, and then you have the ability to keep your attacker away with just a nice quick strike like that if they're coming towards you. So that's definitely doable. You also have people who are going to want to pick this up and then strike with it like that. And I get that as well. But if your attacker has any training, or if he just gets lucky, there's a very good possibility that he's going to be able to just grab this thing from you and yank it away from you. So for me personally, I'm just going to throw this over here. For me personally, if I was going to use this thing, I would probably be walking along, and if I needed it, I would just reposition my hands a little bit and grab like that, and a quick strike to the face like that would probably be the most effective way to use it. That's not going to give away your weapon to the attacker. So I'll just do that again one more time, walking along, really quickly repositioning my hand, and boom. So you can see I'm putting some pretty big holes into this thing with that quick strike.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, so I think that would be the best way to use this weapon, unless you wanted to start by just keeping your attacker away with a quick jab like that. But then you always have that ability to lose your weapon. So now it weighs approximately 1 pound 12 ounces, which is a nice lightweight to be using as a walking stick. So I think that's pretty good, but I think that's about all I have to say about this, right?
Yeah.
And nothing else? Okay, cool. Well, if you guys could just go ahead and put in the comments which weapon you liked best this week, that would be very helpful for Amanda and I. That way we kind of know what weapons you want to see more of in the future. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. And check out Kombativ.com because we've got all sorts of awesome weapons on there right now. In fact, we've got some really cool stuff coming out in the future that I'm very excited to show off on video. But until next week, stay combative. But not too combative. You don't want to get yourself in trouble or end up in prison.